why do people get married? What is the purpose of marriage in solving the big head problem? In my previous lecture, I talked about marriage as a contract reached between men and women after a game of chess to solve the problem of infidelity. You may ask, since infidelity is an instinct of animals, is it necessary to have this social contract of marriage in human society? After all, other animals survive well without this kind of contract, right? Indeed, marriage is a unique phenomenon in human society and also constitutes the core value of human society. The reason why it is necessary to solve the problem of infidelity in human society is because it is necessary to require 100% male participation in the upbringing of human offspring. Why? The reason is to solve our big head problem, that is, the problem of having a big brain. In the past 2 million years, the volume of our human brain has tripled, so we have become smarter, have language, consciousness, and other advanced psychological and cognitive functions. However, the birth canal of women has not correspondingly increased in size. Therefore, women face a fatal problem during childbirth, that is, the baby's head is too big to be born. The solution that nature has come up with is to have every human baby born prematurely, which means that the so-called 10 months of pregnancy for human babies are actually premature babies. Have you noticed that a newborn foal must stand up and walk freely within a few seconds, otherwise it will be abandoned by its mother? In contrast, human babies cannot even open their eyes or crawl when they are born and can only start standing and walking at around 1 year old. In fact, if human fetuses were to develop to maturity like other mammals before being born, they would need to stay in the mother's body for a full 2 years, but now it is usually 9 months. You can imagine that even for a 9-month-old baby, women still face the risk of death during childbirth. For a fetus that needs to stay in the mother's body for 2 years, it is absolutely impossible to pass through the birth canal. Since human babies, compared to other animal babies, are all premature babies, what do premature babies need? Basic medical knowledge tells us that premature babies need 24/7, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, uninterrupted feeding, attention, and care in every direction. The weight of this responsibility, its complexity, and its tediousness will consume all the time and energy of the mother, so she cannot obtain resources for her and her child's survival. At this time, women and children can only rely on men to provide resources to survive. However, men not only have a preference for infidelity but also have a habit of avoiding commitment. Without a strong constraint, a social and legal constraint that is enforced, men are likely to behave like animals and not provide enough resources for women and children. Therefore, marriage has become a necessary condition for human reproduction. For men, marriage is a shackle that binds them to women and children, forcing them to invest and pay for the reproduction of their offspring. This is a challenge to the rules of nature by civilization, making the unfairness between men and women caused by nature become fair under the intervention of civilization. Marriage tells men that if you want to pass on your genes, you cannot fight violently like monkeys and occupy women by force, you cannot cheat and have affairs like Bowerbird and let other men raise your offspring, you can only contact and reproduce with women through marriage and sign a social contract. On the other hand, this contract also forces you to provide resources for your children and their mother for a considerable period of time in the future to ensure that these premature babies with big heads can survive and grow up healthy. At the same time, this contract effectively prevents you and your wife from infidelity, so that you can use all your resources together to raise your own children. This is the essence of marriage.